Hey, it's Amanda. Today I want to talk about how I ended up here in a standard size traveler's notebook. And I get asked very frequently, how have I managed to stay in a standard size traveler's notebook, either a Spek Nomad or a Foxy Fix number 6? How have I managed to stay in that size for 2 years? And I have branched out a little bit. Like I've got a pocket size over here, and then I've got an A5 and my personal as well. But I think the main reason or the best way to explain how I've been able to stay in this for so long is to explain how I got there, because it took me a while to get there. So I'm going to take you through everything from the beginning of my planning journey, I guess. And I'm going to try to do it efficiently. And I'm also hoping that this will be somewhat cathartic for me and let me get rid of the stacks of planners and things that I have since literally high school. This is from high school. I also have diaries from when I was a kid. It's fun to go through and see your handwriting and how it's changed or not changed. But I've always used a paper planner, and this is pencil. In high school you're allowed to use pen. Boyfriend's identity retracted. But I still enjoyed using pencil. And then even when I went to college, really similar thing. I was in the same, this is like from 5 Star. And then I used that through college for the first year, I think. And then I started to get busier and signing myself up for a lot, probably too much. So now that's into my, I guess this would have been my junior year of school already. So I know sophomore year, I played around with a lot of iCal. I had a math book, and so it had that, and I had fun color coding that instead of doing my homework. So I would do that sometimes. This didn't last very long. I think that's really what the takeaway is here, is that I didn't have a good method. This is from Moleskine, by the way. It's adorable, but it didn't last very long. I didn't have a sustainable method or a way to record things in college. So I went through a lot of different notebooks that I never finished, and I keep, because this is good paper. I'll use this paper on this one especially, I'm sure, one day. I didn't have a sustainable method for keeping track of my life. I did journal fairly consistently. These are also Moleskine notebooks. So I journaled. I have 4 of these, I think, 4 or 5 of those. I use those up until my kids were born too. And then I also have some other notebooks that I journaled in that are just picked up at gift shops and things like that. I just didn't have like a consistent method. I'm still going through. This is in nursing school. I started using this, and I wish I could go back and be like, stay in the binder. This is old, but gosh, it was beat up. And these personal rings, they're actually personal sized rings. So I use that to store some of my old inserts sometimes. I finished school, thankfully. Still didn't have like a good method for tracking things, but I did always use a month on 2 pages. So I guess when I finished school, I was like, I don't need a little notebook that has everything in it. So I just switched to using different formats of this. I was color coding a little bit with my Pentel RSVP pens, which are my favorites in the ballpoint pen world. So just different formats of that. We're into April 2013 now. This lasted like not at all. This is again 2013, 2014. I think that I didn't have a lot of things going on outside of work, and my work as an ICU nurse, it's all at work. It's all charted in the computer, and any committees or meetings I was a part of, I could also keep track of. I didn't, there wasn't really that much to do outside of that meeting for the roles that I was taking on. And like I said, the work itself is in the hospital. It has to stay in the hospital for patient privacy reasons. So yeah, 2014 to 2015, I'm just bouncing around, trying different formats. So this is from May Designs. Again, I like petered out. I didn't ever finish using that one. And then this worked for a while. I was starting to get a little bit busier. We got married, and my daughter was actually born at the end of 2014. So I remember I took this to the hospital with me along with one of those Moleskine journals. And that was really helpful. And then I gave birth to my daughter, and I told myself that if I can have this child without an epidural or anything like that, then I'm going to buy myself, a fancy planner. So I ordered a Filofax Finsbury when we got home from the hospital. It would have been early January 2015. or late December 2014 when we got home, and I ordered this. And you can start to see that I'm going to transition it to my work binder. Hopefully soon. This is a drug reference card. So soon, I swear it has to happen. But this is the beginning of 2015, and I just started using the Filofax inserts, and I'm color coding still with my RSVPs, family schedule, my husband's schedule. I had like 4 or 5 different colors. This is ribbon, by the way. It's not meant to be flipped through. It's just for storing it. I started to use a little bit of washi. I had seen there were like 4 people on YouTube talking about their planners. Probably more than that, to be fair. I wasn't into it as much. But I knew enough that I wanted a Filofax. So some color coding and stuff like that. Like I said, I started to use washi, more color coding. And then by the end of 2015, we started to get busier, mainly with my daughter. So I knew by then that something was different. Something, I don't want to say the word wrong, but at this point in my life, I knew that she either had cancer or a rare disease that nobody in Missouri could diagnose her with. So I was taking a lot more notes. I was under a lot more stress. So I started playing around with different inserts or ideas of inserts. So this is when I originally started doing the week overview on one page, and then the grid or dot grid for notes. So I did that for a while, and then when it came time for 2016, I kept my month on 2 pages, and then I switched to that weekly view. So this is what I used throughout 2016, and this I print and cut these myself. And I swore, I was like, this is the last time I'm ever going to do this. I'm going to buy inserts from here on out. So I did. But yeah, these were from Etsy in 2015, 2016. And again, some color coding. I tried to use dots to color code. That just kind of annoyed me. They were too bright. I'm also in school at this time, so that's what the green is. I used some Post-it notes, back to pencil. Some kind of cute Post-it notes. That's when Target started selling stationery and things like that. And then I still use that month on 2 pages, and it was color coded. I'm still using my RSVP pens. I really loved them for a very long time. And I can take you through a quick flip of my Filofax. This was like the first time I ever added scrapbook paper to it, and it was the end of 2016, right before I moved out of it. So I had some contact pages, and then I don't know why, but I didn't put my monthlies up here. They're back there by my weekly pages. And then this, I think, is a lot of like daily cleaning, like our fall routines. I never really found like a planner piece is the phrase. It was never really in here for me. I was annoyed that I had to open the rings every time to write in it, because just the way that I don't know, I write like this. Like I write very slanted. I'm told like I'm sitting straight onto this table, and I turn my page like this to write. And I don't know if that impacts how I write in my notebook or not, but I'm also very particular about my handwriting. So I was popping these rings open a lot. And then I found out that these rings can never be replaced. So once you start getting ring gap, your planner's kind of dead. So that was learned late in the game for me, but that's okay. Back into the quick flip of this. So 2016, I had some this was when, what KonMari method was cool. It's still cool. Still working on that. Yearly cleaning schedule, stuff like that is in the first section. This is how I used to do grocery shopping. Here I would put, so I would put meals on one side, and then I just used a lot of scrap paper, but I would put meals on one side and then the grocery shopping list on the other, and I would keep coupons in here. And then I had my little donut washi tape, which was, super cute in 2016. So some recipes in there. That's what that section was, blank pages. Second session, I was in school. I was finishing my graduate certificate in public health. So it's like the first portion of completing your master's in public health before you go on to thesis work. So I have that done, finally. I finished that in 2016, but that's what was in here. And then I also kept track of my clinical work hours on this fold out, which I think is from Wonderful Planning. And she's still online, I think. This is our pay period schedules, and then this is work-related information, like my hire date, orientation dates when I oriented to a new department, And then there's also some like hypovolemic shock. So that was probably from like a trauma update education, something like that. So there's some continuing education stuff in there as well, in that section. And then this third section, that's another wonderful planning with all of my family's birthdays on it and things like that. So yeah, I put my monthlies back here, which for some reason seems weird to me now, but that's where they are. So color coding, we kind of already talked about that. And then I already talked about how I moved into these weeklies. So I'll try to tab this so I can show everybody. These are working well for me for all of 2016. Towards the end though, my daughter at this point in my life, she's in a lot more therapies and things like that, and we still don't have a definitive diagnosis, but now I have doctors on my side that we're trying to figure out what's going on. So just kind of a lot to keep track of. So I'm running out of room on these pages. So like notes are going into other places, and I was not enjoying it anymore. So I found these on Etsy. I don't know if you can see the lines, but it's columns, kind of like an Erin Condren style. So I was gonna sort these out like that, but I quickly realized I did not enjoy that either. So for the rest of the year, I went back to these. I started doing cool tracking, using a little more stickers. I'm pregnant now with my second child. Took me a second. So yeah, a lot of this I can't quite show, but I was just, so November 2016, Etsy wish list, and I know on the back of this I have, so I'm starting to think about how I'm going to set up a traveler's notebook, because I am done with the rings. I don't like slitting the paper so you can slide it in and out. I don't want to do that for every page. I don't like opening and closing the rings because it gives me anxiety that I'm going to break my planner. So I don't like doing that all the time. For work, if I set this up for like a work planner, it's going to be more of a reference planner. So I think it will be okay. I don't think I'll be, paralyzed with fear of messing up my rings. And then this last couple sections, I don't know what this one is. So we've got like some Christmas notes in here, like what we gave people for Christmas, and I essentially moved that into a Christmas notebook, which I didn't bring upstairs with me. So I apologize. I'll show you that maybe for Christmas. And then this last section is all about my daughter and her health. So I can't show you this, but it has like all of her weight checks, all of the milestones, all the notes about like doctor's appointments that she had. We had to count calories and watch for progress in speech therapy and stuff like that. So those are all in there. I've got, I think that's calorie counting, and then we've got our baby sign language in here. Should probably just move that one out. Still looks nice. And this is a packing list whenever we went anywhere, because when you have to bring a baby, you gotta bring a lot of extra stuff. Birthday planning, crafts and stuff I never did, car seat shopping. And then this last section was, I know, like my wish list and books I wanted to read, movies I wanted to see. This section is my health and my husband's health. So I was just kind of doing some tracking in there. And blank paper. And then this was cut. I guess it's some sort of page lifter. I've never used this. Zipper. I don't have anything to say about that. That was my Filofax. So yeah. Moving on. I ran out of room, and I also flirted briefly before I ordered that Foxy Fix that I was shopping for. I flirted with like a real bullet journal. I got the Leuchtturm, I think that's how you pronounce it, 1917 notebook, just in the classic size, and started trying to do this. And I can't show you that page, but I was like adding a little bit of scrapbook paper, and that was like all my July memories. So I gave this a good try while I was using my Filofax. This was like my August overview that I tried. It was really messy for me. I just was not, I wasn't enjoying it. I think maybe the pages were too big, or I don't know. And then I tried to make a schedule, a monthly calendar, and I just hated sitting here and drawing all these lines, because I am such a perfectionist. It really bothered me anytime there was a little extra ink. I know that's kind of wild, but it really bothered me. And I also like to have all my monthlies together. So I stopped. This was just not a sustainable thing for me, where I wanted to commit to drawing those lines. So I have a beautiful notebook. I don't know what's going to happen with it. I would love for my husband to start using it. So maybe one day. We'll see. Before I ordered my Foxy Fix, I took a Moleskine journal that I had been like using, or I ripped some pages out of, so there wasn't much left, but I started doing, here, let me check. I started doing some, oh, this is fun. Some like pre-planning, not pre-planning. I started like using this, like planning in it. So here is just me planning in it and just seeing if I like this layout and stuff like that. And then this was like Christmas shopping, and then this was I started ordering it. Like I ordered my Foxy Fix. I ordered from For Sizzle Made, which is now Paper and Cats, because I felt comfortable in this size. So I cut this. I made this. It's super jagged, but I wrote in it to make sure that it was comfortable for me, and it was. So I ordered, and I originally ordered a wide number 6 Foxy Fix Boss Babe Madison Avenue. This is a compact. It's just very, very full. I've never ever changed the elastic. I will one day when it breaks. So I ordered a wide. It took me a couple months. I want to say 3, but I was like, that's too heavy. It's very heavy to carry a wide planner as your everyday carry, especially in a diaper bag. So I jumped out of that. And then I was like, oh, it'd be fun to like use one as my wallet. And then Foxy Fix had a 50% off sale for Black Friday, I think, in 2016. So I ordered a number 6 single in Boss Babe Madison Avenue and a number 2 also in Boss Babe Madison Avenue. So that's what this is from. I've since sold the single and I've sold the wide. And I know where they both live. I know that they're both very happy there. So that's always nice. I don't buy or sell my planners very lightly, and I like to know that they are appreciated where they are. So yes, I carried this number 6 Foxy Fix around as my everyday carry. I made it into my wallet in, I have the pockets right when we were busy and before my son was born. I want to say early 2017. I started using it as a wallet, and I had like a vinyl pouch to help me carry some more cards and things like that. So this was kind of like the wallet part of it. I carried this for almost 2 years. And then that is when I decided that I would get, let me clean up a little bit. I would get the Spek in the same size. And I don't want to get ahead of myself. So we're going to step back really quickly and talk about, no, let's go ahead and go into that. So I used this for a couple of years. I also flirted, like I said, with using this independently as my wallet. And now I use this when we travel to places that include a destination where I don't want to carry this number 6 in. So an example would be like when we went to national parks and we were hiking, and when we went into like Disney World and things like that. I want a notebook, and I also use it as my wallet still, but this stays either in our hotel room or in the car, whichever is I guess safer, or if I want to, like, if I have time to journal in the car and things like that, I bring it in the car. And then this is what actually goes with me in like my kind of to-go bag. So in here I have Foxy Fix, I don't know what these are called right now, dashboard. And I put my in case of emergency card here, that's in here right now. So that has information on the front and back, and I put it in, just slip it in there for now. And then this is a field notes notebook that has lasted for multiple years because I don't use it very often. I've got some like notes when my husband was almost had me convinced to go back to CRNA school, almost. And then this is when we went to Disneyland in 2018. So I took this into the park with me, and I wrote down what we did, who we saw, what we ate, what was good, what was fun while we were out and about. And then when we got home, I could open up my True Journal or my daily pages in my everyday carry, and I could journal about that without forgetting anything. And that was just really fun and helpful. And also when you're going to places like Disneyland, I wrote down, I don't know what all is in here, but I wrote down also like which fast passes to go on and like the trails that we would take and things like that, like pre-planning that I would want with me that day also went in here. I added some cards and some cash in here. This one should still be empty. Yeah. So it was kind of just a placeholder. And then I don't think I put anything back there. Maybe with a hotel key I slid in through here. And then back here I just kept receipts. I think that's all that was back there. So that works really well for me when we travel. I will probably always keep this. And when I'm not using it for travel, I just slide everything out and I put little notebooks in there for my daughter, and she loves it. So this is going to stick around for a long time. I still love this very much. I'll show you what's in there right now. So like I said, this is my everyday carry now, and this stays at home. And I guess you can call it a home binder if that makes you, if you like labels. So my birth control card, that's like good for 5 years or whatever. And this is the Target credit card, but I have it on my phone now, so I don't need to carry it with me. And there's actually nothing else in here. This is not like the finished product, I guess is how I would say it. This insert I've shown before, but it's from Toasty Craft Room from Rowena. So I just have each room in here and then a list of things that we want to do. I still want to go back in and draw the rooms and add some measurements. And it's been helpful, but we're also really slow to decorate our house. So it's just hanging out. In here, I keep cards of the people who have done work on our house or things like that. And then in here, I keep the first paper bill from every utility or like trash service or thing that we have. And I also keep some informational stuff and like who to call if like the power's out or the gas is a problem or anything like that. So that's what's in there. And then we switch to paperless billing. That's still attached. Then I have my kids' notebooks. I have one for my son and one for my daughter. And here's kind of just a quick idea of what goes in there. We aren't very good at doing these very often. So I need to put them in a better location. So I'm working on all of this. I guess I could have started by saying that I am trying to figure out what to do for 2019. So not much is going to change. Don't worry. This was freelance. I'm not using it very much. That needs to go. This is from the Travelers Company, and I use it when I want to do like journaling prompts or anything like that. And then this is my address book from Paper and Cats, which I will go through and check that it's all updated here shortly for Christmas cards. So that's what's in there. That's what stays home. Okay. Now I'm going to jump back into daily planning, and I'm at 22 minutes. So I'm going to try to go a little quickly through these. Like I said, I was running out of room in here. I didn't like opening the rings. I wanted to switch to something bigger. I wanted a traveler's notebook after watching videos and things like that. I kept my same layout where I had a grid on one side and then the week view on the other side. And I kept tracking and things like that. I started using some stickers, and these are from Paper and Cats. You can still get these. She used to be called for Sizzle Made, but this is Paper and Cats now. So I did that for a while, and then this is January 2016. I started kind of running out of room. So like here's into April. So I decided to switch to some daily pages, and I can show you probably like 90% of these daily pages, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to flip through really quickly. So in April and May, I started going into these daily pages from Paper and Cats, and I have a blank example. So she sells them in approximately, I think, 60-day notebooks, and I would buy them, and then I would take out half, and I would only carry a month at a time. So this is what they look like blank. I really enjoyed them because it gave me dedicated journaling space. And if I don't journal in my daily pages, in my everyday notebook, I don't journal at all regularly. And journaling is really good for my mental health. So that is one of the main reasons that I really love those. And I continue to use those. So here's May. Here's move. So this got messy because we moved from Missouri to Seattle. And then this is into October. So we are living with my in-laws. And then in November, I switched. I think part of the reason I switched was because honestly, I ran out of these. But I had a dot grid notebook. So I grabbed the dot grid notebook and I was like, this will be fine. I have more space for activities and stuff like that. And we literally moved into our house mid-November and hosted Thanksgiving. So it was a little bit of a busy month. And I've also got December in here. And I'll kind of flip slowly, but you can see where I was trying different things. Like I was doing daily pages, but I still wanted some sort of weekly overview. So there's where I'm playing with that. Trying to figure out a way to incorporate that. I'm still trying to figure out different ways to do trackers. This is December 2017. I don't know if I mentioned clearly where we were in my life, but so this was through Christmas. And then I was also like, okay, I need that weekly. Maybe I can do a daily insert and a weekly insert. But this quickly got ignored. I could not have a separate insert. I just forgot to look at it. It didn't work for me at all. So it all had to go. So back into January, it all had to go into into one. So I was trying to figure out how to do like weekly overviews amongst the daily pages, still trying to do tracking and things like that. And then this is into February and playing with different trackers. So now we're in 2018. I think I can show you everything here. So I liked doing these. It's annoying for me to write them out, but I did them. They worked well for then. A lot of these stickers are from Plantasia, by the way, and we're still in paper and cats inserts. Okay, this was March 2018, and this was when I was like, I just needed more space, I guess, and I wanted more flexibility, and I wanted to be able to journal how much I wanted to journal and not worry about wasting paper or, I need to close this, hang on, or running out of room. I was somewhere in that space between like wanting a daily page for every day and then not using it. So this is April and March, and I started out with, I think it's a 60 page, no, it must be an 80 page. It's an 80 page Tomo River paper insert from Paper Penguin Co. So I started out with that to see if I liked it, and I did like it. So then I was like, okay, I think that I can get a 160 page notebook to fit in there as well. So that's what I did. I bumped up to the 160 page notebook. And this is like May and June and July are in here. And this was also, I started reading Getting Things Done at the end of April, at the end of this notebook. So then by the time I moved into this notebook, I had my back 20 pages as that kind of like getting things done action lists. And I can explain that pretty well if you just look at my other video. I'm not going to try to cover it now because this is getting long. I think I've kind of covered it for here. I'm getting distracted because I think I need to go back and blur things out. But in 2018, I've been in that planner for a couple years now. So I wanted to invest in something that was going to be more functional as my wallet, because I was still just using that PVC zipper pouch thing from Amazon. So this is customized Spek Nomad. I have multiple videos on this bad boy. I haven't really changed anything. It looks weird right now. It's like naked because I took all of my October stuff out and I haven't added any like decor in for November. So there's nothing really to show you. Taylor should be done with these soon, I hope. These will be available from a shop, and I will link her below. But those are really helping me kind of figure out how to track without being married to a notebook until the end of it. And I explained that in my last video as well. So I'm going to try to avoid being redundant. This is my setup for my work planner. It's going to happen. Okay, so outside of this, I also have, I need to figure out, because I love these number 6 notebooks. This one is from Aubrey, and this is Sugar Cookie, and I love it too. And this is my A5 Spek. Those just hit the floor. Sorry. This is my A5 Spek, and I love it. It's beautiful. It's in grease blue, and I'm trying to get it in frame here. I bought it originally as a homeschool planner to kind of keep track of that, and then I knew that it would evolve into also holding things for home because it is so large. So I kind of have like home traditions and routines, and like my plants and garden in here, and then I have like a section for homeschool, and then I have a section for travel ideas, local and beyond, and then I have a section on it's just easier to say the nonprofit that I volunteer for, an event organization. So that's all in there, but it's not cozy for me. I think the size is just not cozy for me. I've had it since March 2018, and it's November 2018, and I really just haven't utilized it like I thought I would. I don't want to talk anymore about that because, like I said, I don't lightly buy or lightly sell planners. So we'll see what happens there. And I think I've gone through everything. Obviously, there's a huge mess and a pile on my desk right now. So we'll just leave these pretty things in frame. If you have any questions, let me know. I feel like this has hopefully answered some questions that I get fairly frequently about why I use this. And, it was a lot easier in 2016. There weren't so many sizes and so many shops selling all the accessories for all the travelers' notebooks. So it was pretty easy. And I knew I wanted something bigger than my personal size rings. So we'll see what 2019 brings, and I will be sure to keep you guys updated. Let me know if you have any questions about a product that you saw. I'll link most of the shops below, but obviously I went through a lot of content. So if I missed something and you're curious about it, please feel free to let me know, and I will catch you next time. Thank you.